I need some context. Let's see. Well, there you go, 325. That's really good. Same as your practice tool. Trade abilities, you both recall. This is all good.
So we got 4 deaths. We got 7 deaths now.
Yep.
8.
Yep. You get the shutdown, you recall, you open on top, you get the grubs, now you're level 6. Good camera movement, looking for potential plays. No plays there. Aurelia TP's mid. No, Aurelia is bot. Comes mid, you look mid. See the angle. Gonna reiterate this again with the habit. Again, you need to have the habit before you Q. Always W, right? That's still a bad habit that you, or not a habit that you've
Yes.
fully picked up yet. Otherwise, this is a good gank.
I'm Wing in the queue. Is that wrong?
What do you mean?
Like I'm pushing Q and W like right back to back.
Oh, it should be WQ, yeah, not QW.
Okay, so see the Q, like when I hit him, the W starts right away, so that's
Exactly.
wrong. WQ not.
Yeah, of course. The man, you won't run out of mana as a Amumu unless you really mismanage your E usage. Well, no, even if you spam your E, generally you shouldn't really be out of mana. So you have a lot more flexibility with how much you can just like use your W before, even though it's not hitting anyone, right? I would say decision making so far is good. Yes, the game's pretty rough right now. I would say this is probably the first problem, which is you should be happy to expend your ulti, Eric, because of the fact that you want to go back and farm because you're almost at Leandri's, right? Let's say you get
Gotcha,
the
yes.
killer assist, you get red and golems. I think you're pretty much almost 100 gold off Leandri's, which means by the time you get ulti, you cycle your ulti back, you'll have Leandri's, and you will be at that point where you can make something big happen on the map, even though your team's losing lane.
Good. I'm really glad you raised this. When do I ult in this situation? Like, I don't think it would have killed him. Would it have killed him?
Yeah, it
Like
would,
with the
because
knockup, maybe.
yeah, because it would, because you would be able to chain CC your Q again after the ultimate, and that would give enough time for Aurelia to auto attack Malzahar to death. Also, something to note, right? One thing about Amumu is you want to take fights around minions and raptors, right? Because your E gets cooldown reduced. Remember the VOD we watched the other day about Warwick building a lot of attack speed?
Yep.
So your E getting reduced cooldown by every auto attack you get hit by. It's the same with minions and monsters, right? The more minions and monsters hitting you, the more you're going to be able to spam your E, which is your bread and butter spell. So in this situation, it's first about cycling your ult before your Leandris. Whenever you can get free kills, all right? Obviously, like, if you didn't think you get a free kill, that's fine. But still a strong point.
Yeah, that's the issue. Is I've got no problem ulting, but I kind of try to save it for like an execute, like to get the last little bit. Maybe is that the wrong way to look at it? Like,
Yeah,
so I
that's the
should
wrong way.
Q auto alt auto.
Oh, I like where
Q?
you're going with this. Yeah, so no Merc Treads, right? That's going to be an important difference. Merc Treads, it's a little bit different. No Merc Treads. Q, auto E, alt auto Q.
Right. Not running
Because
there because that Ireland is not going to chase him under the tower, throw those minions with health.
yeah, and also the minions are gonna help you spam your E again, right?
Right.
You're gonna ulti
Right.
these ones. The 3 range creeps are gonna hit you, and you're gonna be able to spam your E on this guy, even though it's not auto attacking you. So it's gonna write this down, but this is your your true damage combo, basically your max damage combo. It's gonna be Q auto E R auto Q. The reason why you Q auto E, by the way, Eric, is because um yes, he can flat right. He's not CC'd right for like 0.5 seconds, but he'll never reach the outer range of your ult. Right? Even if you flash it, so it doesn't matter because he doesn't have
That
merc
makes
crits.
Q auto E R auto Q. If I need.
Yes. And the reason why in like a big concept, like if you ever learn other champions as well, is every single combo requires you to auto attack cancel or use like weave in auto attack somehow. So in this combo, the reason why I call it a true max damage combo is because you're not focusing on chain CC. You're focusing on weaving as many auto attacks in as possible in between your combo.
Totally.
Also, something I forgot to note about how strong your passive is, right? You start doing like 10% true damage to them if you auto them before your E, and then as we talked about, your E is your bread and butter, does the most damage. So yeah, that's also something really helpful. Oh, this is good. Let's go. So this is really good. As I said, you want to Q auto E here. I like how you hold your ult though. That's really good. It's all good. Good flash. I think the only criticism here is you can fake you can step back Q, right? You can fake running away and turn on him, basically. And more than likely he'll die or you'll trade 1-for-1 for the Yasuo here. Because you're right now you're running away from your teammate.
Yeah, I think I actually saw it. Did that Yasuo in
TP,
or
yeah.
something?
Yeah, you
I
TP.
think I think that's why I turned around.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good.
See, watch. Yeah, if he starts to TP, I'm running to this bush. I didn't realize the Shaco was the bush. I think we're gonna collapse and kill him. I didn't do
Yeah.
that.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's the right idea. You just had to predict the Q and just blind Q him. This is all good.
Should have bought the bigger boots and not missed my cues.
Maybe. But look here again, right? Imagine if your W is running the whole time.
Oh God. Yeah,
Where's your
that's even
W?
killer.
Your W is now. And then you turn it off accidentally.
I probably thought I was turning it on.
Well, you did turn it on, and then you turned it off straight away. That's a problem. This Kimmo would literally be already dead over here, right here.
Like, I feel like this is mostly just like I have to play this champion to build up.
So far, yes. Honestly, yes. Your decision making's been
Oh, no, I'm not with the
good.
W. Like, I have to play the champion more just to learn that. Like, it's just not something part of my sort of subconscious.
Well, I think in general, yeah, for sure. I think every point of feedback this game, if I just check the notes, is basically about your champion. Besides the camp clearing we've been talking about before.
Not expecting that, but
So
like I know you say don't go to these losing lanes, but like there's nowhere to go.
no, this guy is dead again. Like I'm gonna say it again, right? If we do a slow mo, like a breakdown. So your
W's
initial,
gone.
well, yep, your initial walk up, your positioning is great, right? You're cutting her off, so she has to walk in. She has to fight in. You're encouraging her to fight in, which is good. As you said, your W is not ticking, and you should pretty much basically expect her to walk left as soon as she doesn't walk right here, right?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Another big thing here is what did we just talk about before, right? Minion waves and raptors. Certain champions have a better affinity for certain situations, right? Your situations that you like a lot are around minion waves, raptors, and maybe golems, right? Is where you want to fight. Because of, again, what we talked about, your E cooldown being reduced. So had you recognized she's probably gonna pop out soon and try to trade, if you stood here and fought him, all the creeps would hit you, right? And your E would you would be able to whack him. You would spin your head like 2-3 times.
That makes total. You know, it's funny because I was actually get away from because I wanted to make sure they were cute. So
Yeah,
I see
no,
why that was wrong.
you will kill the minion. You will kill the minions by the time. Like, look, one E, one
Yeah.
ult,
Oh, yeah.
and another E is gonna literally kill the minions. But you should have just double E'd and then ulted if you needed an ult. You see how the minion literally gave you that 3 creeps, gave you a 2-second E cooldown, right? With Torstack, Conqueror, and Leandris. You're super strong here. It's just a matter of recognizing that and playing towards that, right? As a strength. So the gank again, the gank was good, Eric. I just think it's coming down to the champion mastery. Is all good. So I want to emphasize in this part of the VOD, mainly just auto attacks, right? We need to be able to proc our passive on each champion. You see how no one's got the circle around them with the auto attack? It's really important because it's a big part of like your damage, right? Procking your passive on each and every person, and then doing damage to them because again, you're losing out on 10% extra bonus damage. I think if you ordered each of these, like if you Q order E'd each of these champions besides Malzahar because it's out of your range, you would basically you would actually win this fight.
Does E apply it as well as you have to be an auto?
Has to, I think. Wait, I'm second guessing. Yeah, it has to be an auto, right? Because look, they don't have the circle around them.
I'm gonna pretend like I know about the circle all along and not like
Yeah, all right.
was.
But it's like I'm just saying it's an indicator, right? Your passive is it's just a
No,
passive indicator.
yeah. No, I didn't know about the circle.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
that orange thing of the lava they're walking on now.
Yeah, see that thing right there. That little circle is the cooldown of your it means they're taking bonus damage. I guess your ulti applies it. I mean, let me see. Amumu. 10% bonus true damage when your ulti or base. Yeah, so your ulti procs it and your basic attacks proc it for 3 seconds.
I distinctly remember in that I felt like I was walking mud, like just couldn't.
You cut off at the end. Couldn't what?
I felt like I couldn't move in that last thing we were just looking at. Like I felt like I got seized.
Oh, really? I think you were doing fine and until they turned on you, but they yeah, you got chain CC, but they should have already been really low before they CC'd you. Like this Morgana should be almost dead already, and then they wouldn't be able to chain CC like this.
That makes sense.
Is there any other questions? Yeah, specific questions. Otherwise, I think we should move on to the next squad.
My question about this game and games like I want to make sure like I didn't cause this or there wasn't some like reasonable way for you to have turned this around or done something different.
I think all your decision making was good, literally. Like I could nitpick maybe, but for the most part, it was very, very good. It was literally just coming down to you executing and utilizing Amumu's strengths, right?
Because I guess here's kind of my question in my mind, and I think about this. I'd like to at this point be like a gold player. So my thought is, what do I need to do to like broad strokes kind of? I know this isn't like something you're gonna answer right now, but like that's always what I'm. So is this game just a loser for? And I just need to not stress out over that.
The standards I'm asking of you would probably be of a platinum or diamond player in terms of champion mastery, but that's the best way I can answer that. So yes, if you were the level of a gold player in terms of Amumu champion mastery, you wouldn't win this game, even if you were a gold player. If that's what you're sort of referring
That's
to.
what I'm going for because I guess what I'm struggling with is I'm like a 40-some win rate Iron 4 player. And I'm trying to wrap my head around what I'm doing to cause this. And I can't figure it out other than maybe being passive or something. Or that's kind of my one. It's not the be all and end all, but it's just something that's at the forefront of my mind.
Yeah. I think
I mean, put it like if I went in a purple belt jiu-jitsu tournament and I lost, I wouldn't know how to I wouldn't know how to wrap my head around because I can't understand how that could. So it's the same thing here. Like I just don't understand why I'm not having more success. And I know that's not a today question necessarily. Like going forward, I'm really trying to wrap my head around that and hoping that's something that can help me and then we can fix it. But the first thing is just to understand it. And this is really valuable because I was very concerned that I'd somehow caused it.
You've only caused it by losing the skirmishes that you should have won, basically. But your map movement is good. So would have to come back and see to what extent you can push yourself to be a better Amumu, right? And then we could see about the decision making after you win the skirmishes, right? That you should be winning. I think the game still goes for 39 minutes, so like it is playable for sure. But I mean, the reality is that, like you said, you're not getting the results you want. So it really comes down to um, building all the skills together, right? But we need to build it
Right.
one by one. But they all
Well,
need to come together at some point. And I think, like, you know, when people say it just clicked, that's probably when you're gonna make the most results based progress. But in terms of just improvement, that's going to have to come from that's going to actually have to come from the step by step, one by one.
that makes sense. No, that makes sense. But I guess what I'm thinking is there needs to be a reason for this. Like,
Well, this game is definitely just like
not
I
this game. I mean, my overall situation. There has to be a reason. I feel like someone like yourself has to be able to identify this after you go through enough hours of watching this. Like, I just put myself in this position. If someone came to me and said, "Hey, I can't win a jiu-jitsu tournament," I can tell them why if they give me of those tournaments. It's not that
yeah,
hard to figure it out. And you see where I'm going with this?
I do.
Like,
I do.
if someone's like losing, they've been playing, and like, because if you look at this and you say, well, yeah, this looks like you're playing at an Iron 4 level, below that, just play more and don't do that. That totally makes sense. Like, my next question would be, what specifically? If you're like, well, everything, then that's an answer.
I don't think it's everything. I think it's literally half of everything, right? I've
Well,
I've
that's quite a bit.
I've complimented you, or like I've seen that you're like, even to the extent of saying you're playing at a diamond level in terms of decision making, it then execution of like champion and skirmishes, then you're playing on the opposite, right? You're playing at an iron level. But if you were able to bring up your ability to play Amumu and play to its strengths in these skirmishes, I would say you would have a different outlook on like the results of this game and what happened.
That makes sense. No, that's I really appreciate that. That's kind of what I'm looking for. Is like, what's the problem? Because if I don't even know what the problem is, how do I really
But
like
it's
get
but it's
motivated?
just this game. Like, watch the next game, but um maybe it could just be everything like said. But this game, again, your decision making was good. So it was only one half that was like the major issue.
There has to be a decision. I
I mean, I mean, I didn't look through mid late game, but like we talked about last session, I think we need to go front to back instead of go to late game situations to like now. Like, I've thought about it in like Danaher ideology, but I don't think it applies to League, where it's like you wanna you as a white belt, you wanna practice you know, submission defense and defense to be, to progress the fastest. But I think it's like the opposite in League. You need to master getting ahead, and then you can master closing out or playing from behind.
That makes total sense. But yeah, I don't think a jiu-jitsu analogy holds up there because it's like every advantage you get, you gain 5 pounds of muscle mass. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just it, and it's also like a lot more factors, right? Because you're playing with four other teammates, and it's not just yourself when it comes to late stage defense and mid game, trying not to trying to play from behind mid game. It involves a lot of teammates. This game you're pathing
Yeah,
down. This is good.
that wasn't.
Wait, did you show me this one already? Oh,
No,
you did. Okay,
same thing
okay.
happened last time.
Yeah, I think you ended up smiting the red or something. Okay, okay.
Last time I smited the red. This time I ran around and embarrassingly
Actually,
catch it.
let's look at this. Why did that happen?
I left too early.
Yes, but what at what point? Okay, so
I thought
do you know how much damage the ticks do, Eric?
no.
Okay, they do around 25 damage. That's something to note down. That's something really good to know. Because sometimes you can just leave the camp to die on itself.
So in this case here, when would you bandage over the wall? Like, he's at 49. Is that bad luck, or did I screw this up somehow?
It's not bad luck. It's on purpose. So what happened is, yes, it will tick down, but what happened is after the tick, it moved to this, right? You see you see the pet, he jumped over here.
Okay.
And so the pet has an AoE tick, right? But the red buff's too far away to be in range of the tick. So now the red buff only took one tick instead of two ticks, which you needed to kill the red, right? Actually, sorry, it didn't even take any ticks because it was completely out of range. So it ticked off. Now it needs two more ticks, right? Every auto attack or ability is two ticks. That's something else to note down.
So it was at 79. It took this one tick for 25, or is 30 the tick?
That was 2 ticks. So 109.
Yeah, and there's one tick.
Oh yeah. 109, 109, 79, and then 49. That's 2 ticks.
Yeah, so I haven't hit it. It ticked twice. I see. That makes sense.
Yes, your W's about to hit it, but the problem is you make the pet go here, and the pet does have AoE, but it's like this range, like this sort of semicircle. It's actually almost the same as like your W range with the AoE tick. Like you can do 2 camps at once, and obviously the pet will AoE tick on each both the camps. Like let's just say in theory, but in this scenario, right, the red's too far away.
So should I have just killed the red before I went over the wall?
No, you just need to stand still. The W will create another tick, and then as the W creates another tick, the last tick will go off along with your W damage, and you'll die. But if you want to auto attack it, that works too, right? But I'm just saying your W you just had to literally stand still and it would have died, because one tick plus your W will kill the red buff, right? 30 damage plus 19. Assuming your W does 19 damage. This clear is good. Level 5. Also, grubs, really great for fighting as well, I forgot to say. Like, look at your E cooldown, right? If someone fights you when all the grubs are hitting you, it's like, you're gonna get a massive DPS off. Okay, so what do you think went wrong here?
Let me think. Here's what I think. I think I was never going to kill this guy because predetermined he was going to flash at it. If I would have ulted him, it would have stopped him.
Yeah.
It would have knocked him up and he wouldn't have got away.
I'm going to challenge you on this. So, here.
Dude. Yes.
Here, you do it perfectly, right? You auto first. And then what you end up doing is you think by CCing him, you're going to stop him from taking the next grub, right? This is completely unrealistic. Yeah. He has smite, you just smited, he's going to get this. But if you had just done your full DPS combo, like we talked about before.
Q-R-E-R-A, right? But no Q?
WQ, but in this situation, you don't need to Q because he's gap closing for you, right?
Right.
So what you can do here, I guess, I guess it's kind of misleading what I said about true combo. I'm just assuming they're far away, so you have to initiate with WQ, right? Here
Q's
you
I put
can,
a box. Q's kind
yeah,
of optional. It's there as a gap closer, not as a damage. Is that right?
exactly. But here he's gap closed for you, right? He's giving you auto attack range. So all you have to do is W auto E and then Q and then cycle your Q again, right? On the next Q. But instead, you do the right thing, auto W, but you Q straight away, and then you kind of cancel your auto attack, and then you E. But your second E would already be up here, right? And then your
Got it.
third E would be up here. It would be close, but you could be you could flash E basically, and you would kill him. And something as well. I mean, this is the second time, right? This is a pattern. Is you keep canceling your W, right? You're like you W, and then you randomly turned off your W, and then you turn it back on again, right? You notice that?
100%. 100%. I'm honestly like I noticed it in when I'm doing it. I'm personally not too concerned about it because like I've been playing this champion for weeks or a week or something. I feel like if I give it a couple more weeks, I'm gonna stop doing nonsense.
Yeah, that's good. I mean, as long as you're aware of it, it's important. And then as long as you value that as to be why you're missing certain kills as well, I think that's important, right? If you
I
don't
don't think I
feel,
necessarily drew that conclusion until you pointed it out so clearly.
yes, there needs to be some pain involved for you to like actually want to care about that, right? Otherwise, it's just like, if there's no value in changing, like, why would you change, right?
No. Like, don't get me like this is on my mind. I'm working on it. It's just one of those things. Like you can say you're gonna do something. So this,
Yeah, okay, fair enough. So back to the initial. Actually, I want to get your thoughts on this situation anyway, right? Because this is sort of like deja vu last game
yeah.
against
So
Malzahar.
I think it's I think I debated. Okay, first thing, obviously the W should be on, but we're gonna keep going on that with these videos because I was deliberately pressing Q and then I thought I was being clever by Wing the air kind of stuff.
Yeah,
So you won't see that next time, but you're gonna keep seeing it.
yeah.
I'm not
We'll just accept
sorry.
that. Yeah. No,
I'm
you're
not
right.
so sure that I shouldn't have walked up a little more before queuing her, but those are the two things right now that I see.
So the big thing here that I want to emphasize is the, do you know Ariel, right? Like the dashes,
She
three
seems to dash
dashes.
all over the place, but I don't really.
Okay. So
That's really frustrating.
that's good to know. But yeah, she has three dashes if she has ulti up. So this would have been a situation where you do a chain CC combo, right? Where you Q auto and then ulti, right? Because you're not gonna have time to E. But you have time, you see the stun bar, you have time to auto attack him right now and fully
Yeah.
chain CC him.
So
So
the
that
combo here is it Q again? Q auto ER or is it QAR?
it's gonna be Q auto R. I mean, sorry, Q. Wait, I just messed that up. Yeah, Q auto R actually. Yes, Q auto R E, because you won't have time to press your E button. But you want to get your true damage passive off, right?
So in the decision making there is if E would be enough time for them to get away, we skip the combo.
Yes. We skip we skip the E and just Q auto alt. We settle for an auto attack because of your passive, right? If you didn't
That would have
have,
killed her.
sorry?
That would have killed her.
Yes. 100%. Um you if you settle for if you settle for your E, it's only because you've already procced your passive already, right? But you want to maximize your passive, so you can end in a free auto attack, right? 60 damage, or 50, whatever the case may be. And then the ulti, and then the auto E again. would be the perfect combo because would be able to get weave in 2 auto attacks and then get a fully stacked Conqueror E at the back end of it, right? Where you're gonna have the max amount of AP. Also, something I just realized with your runes as well, small thing, but you should definitely be going sudden impact if you're gonna go secondary red tree instead of cheap shot, like along with ulti hunter. Is that ulti hunter? Yeah, it is. Yeah, this is good. You had the ulti secure the kill, unfortunately, but it's reality. It's also good. This is also good. Alright, this is just a mistake in understand. This is probably like your probably first decision making mistake was you burn the flash, but then the problem is you forget about like the tempo, right? You just killed Rankton like ages ago, so he's gonna be coming back. So this is the situation where you gotta be aware of people's tempo, right? You and Azir basically after base, and you could wrecked in 20 seconds ago, right? So we're not in fight mode.
Totally. This was really embarrassing for me what had happened. I thought they lane switched or something. I didn't think he was coming back there, but there was no reason like that.
Yeah,
Was what I thought when
I actually that kind of makes sense. But if he's not showing on the mid wave, you can pretty much assume he's there because I think he should have been on the mid wave quite a while ago if he showed up. If he was going to go swap to mid.
Totally. It was just one of those things where there was a lot going on, and I just assumed that I thought it'd be super clever to hide in that book. Clearly wasn't at all.
No, it was good if you took into account that people were coming back, right? Or Rankton specifically. But that is a skill that is quite difficult to master. So it's no it's no problem. Just something to be aware of. Usually when you make a play, and they're gonna answer back with something else, right? They're not just gonna sit back. Be aware of that. So this is a good play. This is also good. Also very good. But the top tier 2 as well. I like the ult too. Just gap close. Yeah, I mean map movement so far is nothing I see honestly very good, yeah. Now you burn Ariel, that's fine. Probably don't overchase. Yeah, well, I mean, you were saying before, like, what what's making you iron compared to a gold player? I am not seeing it right now. If you showed me this VOD, I would be very surprised. Like, you would iron.
He's not about
Besides the
iron. He's
mechanics,
got an
but
iron 4 with a 45% win rate, which is like that's way worse than just being iron.
well, I don't know the difference, right? But honestly, honestly, I would not assume that whatsoever. Um, like literally the only thing that's making me think, oh, you're in a lower elo bracket is just the champion mastery, right? With the mechanics. Like decision making, literally I I could be I could see maybe different opportunities you could look for instead of what you did. But overall, very very good. We'll have to see what happens when you um when you're able to just improve on the stuff we've already talked about in terms of the clear, in terms of how you play skirmishes.
Got it. But I'll just like from my perspective, there's no way that that can be the problem because like this is a champion that I've just picked up, like say on Udyr or Nocturne, where I've had the same problem. I've got like a lot of. I mean, sure, I'm not saying I'm good at them, but like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I'm a lot better on those champions than I am on.
Okay. Did you want to look at the re-uploaded game?
Yeah, I would. I'd like to go till 10 if that works for you. I don't know if it does or you think it's productive.
I would. I think we should go through the early game again.
Okay.
If your problem is truly mid game, that's completely fine. But um, yeah, we'll look at the early game first, and then we'll go from there.
Because I do feel like maybe the early game I'm just not getting off of my little railroad track of trying to get level ultimate unless something is so free that I
Trying to
can't.
get what? Sorry. So you cut off at the end. You're trying to get
Oh, what
what?
I'm saying is like I'm just wondering if I'm being too passive at the
No,
because
no, you're not.
okay.
You're playing to your champion's strengths, right? If you had opportunities to do something different, I would have called you out on it, right? But your main goal as a Mumu is to get 6 fast, and sometimes ganking can get you level 6 fast, right? So it's not exclusive to it's not exclusive to just full clear twice and get camps and you're 6. Like there's different ways to get level 6. Let me know when you send the link because I can't. It's probably unlisted, right? I can't see
I'm
the video.
listed. Oh, I thought you had it open. Sorry,
No, no,
I
no.
don't know why.
The one you were uploading, right?
I don't know why that that was a not. Yeah. Unlisted. So, question: this is a general concept. If someone's beating on a tower, like say they've killed my laner and they're sort of hitting the tower, how far am I going out of my way to stop that?
Depends on what tower. So tier twos are the most valuable. If you let them hit the tower and you do camps, I think there's something wrong. Outer turrets, right? Mid lane is the most valuable. So because it's the center of the map, if you expose the center of the map, you expose the sides, right? But if you expose the sides, you don't necessarily expose the center as much because um, the fact that they can hide behind like a single turret versus the side can't really hide behind a single turret because there's a wall blocking you, right? You can't just go outside the
Yeah.
map. Whereas in mid lane, if someone ganks you, you just go left side of the tower. If they're on the right side, vice versa. If they're on the left side, you just go to the right side, so you can just always space them.
That makes sense. Yeah, I think that might be honestly like a major issue. I'm not sure, but because I'm not, I kind of tend to just let them do that and be like, that's not my problem. I think
Yeah, I haven't seen it yet, so we'll have to see. But yes, if you, especially if you let them get mid tower or tier 2 when you can defend it, I think that is a priority shift you should have. By the way, I must be insights capture that messed up your recording because I'm pretty sure I clicked on your new link, right?
it's not right.
Yeah, it's still record. It started at the same recording time.
So what does mine do?
Yeah, honestly, it must have been it must be just the insights capture. It bugged the recording.
Well,
But anyway, on this topic, we can look at your decision making to close out games. It's clear you guys are winning this game, so let's just look at
this was a
uh,
relatively, I felt like a relatively free win.
it could be a free win, but looking at the game time, assuming this VOD goes for another 20 minutes, it should not take that long to win this game.
Oh, hey, I didn't say that. I didn't say I played well.
No, I'm just saying, like, um, when I think of an easy win, I think of like 25, 27 minute win, you know? That was good patience. I think if you get ulted there, you lose 1v1, so good that you let the other guy get ulted. Actually, I talked about last time, right? But another thing I'm not happy with that is important feedback is you're still not, you're underestimating how fast your E comes back up again. You see that?
Yep.
That was literally 1.5 to 2 seconds of uptime that you lost on your E. And then you could be cycling another E right now. Bam. You would be Eing him again and then auto queuing and then smiting him and he's dead. You see what I mean?
100%.
So that's, yeah. That's something just to be aware of that I've seen twice already.
So the issue with that for me is this: it's like I know I do that, you know I do that. We're both paying for it. How do I stop?
Stop doing, it's not what you stop doing, it's what you start doing. You start paying attention when every time someone orders you, remember it's 1.5 or 1 second. So you should just be looking at your HUD, right? Your E until you get to the point where, like, when someone's auto attacking you, you should be looking at your HUD to get to the point where you'll naturally look at your HUD and see that your ECD is going down and when to spam your E, right? And if
Yes.
everyone's auto attacking you, then you should just be like button mashing, basically, because your E is going to be on like a 0.5 second CD. Right? Amumu is auto attacking you. You see that? I'm like, when I'm like pretending I'm playing right now, I'm looking at my ECD and then pressing it as soon as I can, right? Because the teammate is auto attacking you, yeah?
Yeah.
After you press E, boom, 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 it's up, right? It's like it says 1 second, but you should know it's up because teammate is about to order you, right?
That makes sense. Like, because I should have won this, right? Like,
Yeah,
this is
oh,
bad.
100%. And this is going back to the same thing I'm saying, is like your decision making is fine. You're just losing these plays that you should be winning. Like, you're playing way above, like, in terms of decision making, you're playing way above your uh elo. You take Baron, you base. You play mid bot with Dragon. You take Dragon. Maybe
I
you have
didn't
to.
want to do that. I wanted to take this tier 2. I felt like that was a better play, but I couldn't get the guys on board.
Yeah, and that's totally fine. Like people just want a failsafe, right? Because I guess it's the Dragon. But I totally agree with you. But like, dude, the way you're thinking is literally high elo. It's crazy, but like, it's just it's mind blowing to say that you're Iron for 45% win rate. Because yes, that is the correct play, and that's really good. And it's good you just adapted and took Dragon anyway. But
It's like right here, I'm trying to get these guys out of the jungle to come help me get this damn tower, and they seem to not want to do that. So I
okay,
think I end up getting killed.
okay, so this situation is probably where I'll challenge you on this. So I
Okay.
100% agree with what you're thinking, but I think you should understand your role. Right? Every player has a role on the team because of their
Okay.
champion they're playing. The reason why you have roles is because you're good at certain things and other players are not good at certain things, right? For example, Ari is really bad at killing jungle camps, but she's really good at killing minions, right? So it's obvious which role should be delegated to which person. So it's the same with you. You're actually very good at killing minions, like, but Ari and Aphelios should be better at you than killing minions anyway. It's arguable, but the main point being is that you should be with your support because your ability to fight and tank damage and start the fight is better than an Ari or an Aphelios, right? Imagine if you
So that,
started hitting bot tower and Aphelios was in the jungle.
right. I agree with everything you said, but how does that translate into we should go in the jungle right now?
Because you
Is it
need to
just because they're
adapt.
there, I should be there?
Because you need to adapt. Remember what you just said before? I wanted to
Okay.
take tier 2, but they took Dragon. So you just decide to take Dragon with them, yeah? So you
Yes.
want mid wave, but Ari's not moving mid wave, and Aphelios is hitting bot. So instead of playing 4-1, or sorry, 1-3-1, I forgot Aatrox and Maud was top, we just accept the fact that our team is not is making a different call, and we adapt to the conditions of different calls, right? It's really important skill, adaptation, right? Because things never go the way you want to all the time.
So can I ask a question though? What because I agree with you. Like I totally agree. But here's then where it breaks down because there's all these sort of sayings you hear people say, right? Like embrace reality or make whatever. At what point, because I don't know what they're doing. Are they trying to go help hit this bot tower? Are
Yeah, of
they gonna
course.
go in this? Is that what they're doing?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. And is that a reasonable play for the three of us to group up and take that bot tower?
Yeah, it's perfectly fine. It's suboptimal. Taking dragon instead of sieging and warding the jungle suboptimal, but you did it anyway, which is fine because that's
Oh,
how they wanted to play the situation. This is
so this
completely fine too.
gotcha. So I guess what I was gonna say is sometimes you hear people say embrace reality, other times you say just because somebody's gonna die, don't die with them. And that's kind of which one of those situations is it can sometimes be tough.
Okay. Well, that's gonna become down to your judgment because both can be true. Both can be true in different situations, but that's only if you think Aphelios is dead here.
No,
So
I don't think it feels
just
die.
exactly.
He's too good. Yeah. No, I don't think it feels is gonna die, depending on who's taking him behind him, but
Yeah, like you guys just killed Nocturne. Remember, it's literally 3v4 on on this side, and Maud's still showing top. So all you have to do is either play 1-3-1 or you play 4-1, where you all dive onto a lane like Aphelios is forcing you guys to do, and then Aatrox, if someone pushes mid, Aatrox can push top and then catch mid wave, and then he'll cross down, and then eventually you'll meet up with him because you'll kill bot tower and move mid too. And that was just an overdive with Mordekaiser countering you. It's good you actually got some MR. This is good. They end up getting Soul. Okay, basically the reason from here on out, Eric, is why the game takes so long is because we don't go back to pressuring the Baron, right? The map is completely split. So this situation is probably best to try to rally the boys. Like everyone is just everywhere on the map. I don't know why Nami's farming bot. Ari's mid. Aatrox is doing his own thing. Once we rally the boys, then we can start like closing out the game.
And this, can we pause just for a sec?
Yeah.
For me, I think the play is to siege, not to take. Am I right or wrong? Or
You're wrong
beta?
because you don't have to take the Baron. You just have to make them come to the Baron and kill them, right? What's an easier way to make them come out of their turtle shell? It's the Baron, right? If there was no Baron in League, what if they had a Xerath or a Zir? You'd never be able to end the game. It doesn't matter how far ahead you are, right? Because they'll just clear the wave. Because you don't have super minions, right? So I actually agree with you in the context that if you started Baron with the intention to finish Baron, even though they're coming, you probably lose that fight, right? But if you start the Baron and see them coming and be happy to turn and kill them, now you've just taken them out of their turtle shell, and now you either have Baron or you can get inhib anyway off the back of killing them, right? Because there's no one there to defend the tower. But sieging straight up here, I would disagree with because you're giving them their best chance to come back, which is fighting
That's
on
actually
the
really
tower.
helpful. I'm very glad we're having this conversation because I'm thinking this might be another weak point is not understanding Baron, like and or try to set them up in turn and wipe them. Like, because you're thinking we're pretty strong here. We've got Dragon, we've got Soul, right? Is that, and we've got like
We've
I'm
got
pretty
like
juiced at
10k
this
gold
point.
lead. Yeah, basically. Like even if you didn't have Soul, I would start Baron anyway because I want to start a fight. I would. It's not the intention of finishing once again, but if they do not come, then you get the Baron, and then you can siege anyway, right? So they're forced in a dilemma.
Yeah, yeah. I think that's something that I need to work on because I'm reluctant to go there because often can end poorly.
Yes, that's because you many people focus on the Baron instead of like you can always get off the Baron. No one's forcing you to stay on it, but people are just like so nervous when the situation arises and they just fumble a lot, right? Or like tunnel on something. But reality is you can always get off it, and if you're tanky enough, there's all or someone's tanky enough and has some sort of healing, like Nami here, you can always sustain the damage Baron gives you. Or like yeah, gives you.
That Mordekaiser was felt really strong. I think I built some MR and felt like they just completely couldn't.
Yeah, yeah, this Mordekaiser is really strong. And he's strong against your champion too. That was really good. The only criticism is like what we've talked about before about the W and the order E. It would probably be um something the reason again another reason why the game goes to 37 minutes despite the early lead, right? You have Elder, you have Soul. These guys are walking up on you, but there's a tower there, right? But this tower does not matter. These guys will literally get one shot if you start the fight here.
Yeah, they're 14.
Anything, any two-man combo with ulti, you've won the fight. But if you let them start the fight on your carries, right? Remember your carries, right? We talked about roles before. Your role now, post Leandri's, is basically starting the fight, allowing your carries to DPS through CC, right? Or making space for your carries. Because something important that people like might understand on a basic level but don't really understand is like your champion has different roles at different parts of the game, right? When you're a Leandris, you're the strongest champion in the game, in my opinion, right? And Aphelios is not strong at one item, but he's extremely strong at 6 items, right? And Amumu is probably on the weaker side at level 6 items compared to a carry, but at Leandris, you one shot Aphelios or whatever AD carry you're versing, right? So the roles at different points of the game. Your role right now is just to start the fight so that your champion is going to be most effective because you don't do damage anymore, but you are really good at creating space, right? A fearless job is to press the auto attack button, right? Because auto attacks don't have a cooldown except for the attack speed reset, right?
Yeah.
Like we talked about combos before, right? But
Yep.
actually, in this scenario, I would not I would not combo properly because Aphelios is standing too close to the enemy team. I would actually just press Alt because he's standing way too close to their team, right? I would just double Alt and make sure Aphelios gets to hit them for free and he doesn't get CC'd like this, right? Like you end up doing it, but like it should happen as you recognize he's standing too close to the range of Tarek and Mordekaiser. Now that's something really good to understand. Like towers do not matter if you have the ability to start the fight and kill them. Because
Sorry,
like
what doesn't matter?
the tower, because
Oh,
I'm
okay.
assuming that's the only reason you didn't go on them, right? If there was no tower there and what they're walking up like that, I'm gonna assume you're just gonna go on them.
Yes.
But
Question.
yeah,
I call. Sorry. Yes. Question. I called for this Baron and then I backed because I thought I had a lot of, but then they started and they almost died. Feel it? Like say I'm hurt and stuff. Is that the right back?
no, it's not the right thing because you again your role, you don't like. All right, if there was a priority of deaths, you unfortunately
I know
are
where this is going.
you unfortunately are top priority, right? The children and the kids must be saved, which is
Right.
Ari and Aphelios, right? You have to die first if there's a priority list. But I'm not telling you, oh, you play tank, you should just die a lot. Like, no, but if there had to be a death, it has to be you. So if you're going to do this, um, you shouldn't be worrying about dying. Well, you're definitely not going to die to Baron, right? But if they come, and you die and your team gets Baron and your Ari and Aphelios live and your Aatrox and Nami dies, it doesn't matter. Or it doesn't matter as much. But if your Ari and Aphelios die and the rest of your team lives, then there's quite a big problem. They might be able to just kill the rest of you and end even after you Baron recall. Whereas Ari Aphelios could potentially actually 2v5 defend the base, like in a potential scenario.
So this one also, if you don't mind, I have a question here. So the Nami goes top, and one of the things is I always, Coach Chippies. You know Coach Chippies. I saw you guys were friends on the Discord, like
Yeah.
mutual friend. So his big thing is like if you do 1-3-1, you're gonna just get wiped.
Yes. I would agree with
So
that.
when the support went top, I decided to go top with her, even though I really wanted to be part of a big meatball pack running down the.
Yeah. So a good solution, regardless, I was going to point this out, is you need your role as a jungler, right? Your role is to take space, and something that's important is taking the space between the two lanes. So this is an important concept that I'm sure we'll talk about in the future once we get more It's a mid game. But for now, the basic idea is if you dominate the space between the lanes, that means you get first exit and entry into lanes. Like it's like you're on the freeway basically, and they have to take normal roads to get to the same location, right? They have to walk all the way around to get to the same spot safely, right? Let's say you're at Blue Buff Bush, which we would call the middle of the two lanes, top and mid, right? Over here.
Okay, yeah.
You have first access to each entrance, right? If you look at the map, there's 4 entrances on each side of the river, right? You got the Raptors area, you got the Blue Buff area entrance, and then you've got Tribush, and then you've got I don't know what I would call this, right? But this area, right? And the same for the bot side of the map. So it's exact same. And when you have the Blue Buff Bush, you have first entrance to every single exit and entrance here. So the key here would not to be holding hands with Nami, but watching Nami from afar, but not too far, right? Not over here, not next to mid, but blue, where you can respond to either side.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. Now, can I steal the camps as I do this?
Depends, right? That's gonna be
I'm really
down
free.
to what you think they're going to do, right? If you have a like, if the wave is all the way here and Nami's camping here, I would be happy to take wolves because there's a high chance Nami's not dying. The minions are giving her vision, right? But
Got it.
if Nami was walking up past her own minion wave, I would be more reluctant to commit to the right side of the map, right? I'd rather stay on the left side of the map.
Right. But I guess could I start if that Grump was there, could I start taking and kind of just be willing to drop it? Or do I need to be
No,
hovering more close?
no, that's no, that's closer than the blue buff bush, right? If you're taking Gromp.
Yeah.
But the problem with taking Gromp is you're exposing your mid side, right? I'm not saying they have God vision, they see you, but if a situation arises on the mid side, you're all the way committed on the top side, right? Here, right? That's why I say blue buff is literally the middle of top and mid. Bush, obviously it depends on what side you're on, but basically the buff bushes are the middle of each lane, between the two lanes. So that would be your middle point.
And so
Again,
that makes sense
yeah.
also because if I'm in this jungle, they don't know where I am.
Yeah, exactly. And they're put in a dilemma. You're creating a situation where, I mean, that's the only thing I've stole from Jiu-Jitsu is, again, you're creating a dilemma where your first track onto either side, and also they don't know which side you're committing to. So they have to assume, basically, you could be on either side. So you're creating a situation where you have no commitment, and they have to expect you to be on either side, right?
Yes, that makes a lot of sense.
This is like very high level concept, but I think, I mean, League is everyone's getting better and better every year, so I'm sure this will become like a normal thing down the line. But for now, yeah, this is like meant to be something only pro players understand, but or really good pro players, but it's very, it's very easy to implement and understand, right? If you just look at it as a perspective of the opponent, like you said, they don't see anything. That was solid. think think we got a lot out of this session. If there's anything else, uh, we can go ahead. But otherwise, like, I think there's a lot of theory. We just need to go back to practicing, and we can reconvene again.
Okay, sounds good. I've got one more. Is there any point? Probably not. It sounds like you figure we've done enough. We should just call it for today, and we'll like reconvene next week.
Yeah. What was
Okay.
it? Oh, you mean you got one more VOD?
Yeah,
Is
we
that
don't
what
need
you
to
mean?
go over it.
Yeah. I think that was a lot of information.
Okay.
I'm gonna send you the notes again, and then again, going back to the same thing. Do what you think you're most passionate about. Work on what you think you're most passionate about. Yeah, like you got to keep it fun, right? It can't be a chore or something. So do it. Yeah, work on what you want to work on, and then we can go back and see the progress there and see the obviously the part where we want to get results too, right? Not just like have some imaginary progress in our head where the results aren't showing yet, but it will show. It's just we're working on it one at a time.
No, I agree with you. And so, like, I'm not looking for a miracle here or anything overnight. I mean, like I said, I think my big priorities are one, I want to figure out with your help what big mistakes I'm making. I think we might have touched on some of them tonight, but like letting those towers go and not playing around the bear might be part of my problem. But I'm sure as we watch more of these videos, um, you're gonna see something that's obvious and it's just like wild and out there.
Yeah, I think so far. I think so far, I would agree with you. It does not make sense after the last 3 4 pods. The only thing that makes sense is just the champion mastery.
Okay, I'll keep working on that, but I'm positive that's not the problem because, like I said, I don't have much on this. Whereas I've got other champions that I've got a ton on, and I have the same results.
Okay.
It's gotta be. I mean, I'm not saying the champion master wouldn't be a big help. I'm not, you know what I'm saying, but there's something the way I'm playing or the decisions I make or what I'm doing. There has to be. Because okay, like here's an example. I don't know if you saw that little overlay I've got, but what it's saying is the average farm is like 4.2 in this level.
Yeah, that's misleading because you could AFK farm, right, Eric, and then you could boost your numbers, but you're not impacting the map, right? Farm is
Right,
actually
but
good because you're meant to build your gold lead to create a situation where you can use the gold lead or EXP lead, right, to impact the map.
no, I totally get that, but I feel like if that's what I'm doing, then I want to know that's what I'm doing. Do you see what I'm saying? Like,
What do you mean?
what?
Like, wait, what do
Well,
you mean?
yeah, I understand what you're saying. I think I heard Nathan talking about like pulling back a slingshot. How far are you going to pull it back before you let the thing go and finally shoot something?
Yeah,
Might have
that's
been the way.
good. That's a good idea. Yeah.
I totally get that, but like, I feel like if that's what I'm doing, you would say to me, "Hey, you're being like," you would notice that. Is what I guess is what I'm saying. Maybe not after 3 or 4 videos, but and I'm not like saying it's a farm contest, but I just feel like if people are throwing down 4 points some farm, they would have to be doing something awfully special for them to be performing to any kind of level. If that's the standard, I guess.
Yeah, I feel like the problem is it's so out of context. It's like when people use stats to do other people's perspective, right, on like reality.
Yeah.
I feel like it's the same here, where it's like the context is so important to the numbers that almost the numbers almost don't even matter.
Yeah.
Like at that point, so I wouldn't get too caught up on the numbers. Like I've honestly never heard of that stat before in my life. Like if I'm being completely honest, I've never ever paid attention to CS. I did in my early days, but nowadays I don't. I just pay attention to how impactful I'm being in the game at each moment. And impactful doesn't mean like I go to every lane and stop farming, because like you said, you need to charge up, right? Slingshot, like that analogy. But yeah, it just depends on how when you farm, how you impact the map after you farm, right? That's the key.
I totally got you.
All right, well, we will be back. What is it? This time next week? Does that sound good?
Yeah, 8 p.m. PST next Sunday. Does that work for you? That works great for me.
Yeah, that works for me too. All right.
Okay, I'll see you then. Have a great week. I hope your staff gets cleared up.
I know. I'm scared because I'm feeling it. Like maybe it is MRSA. I don't know. We'll be back. I'll be back in 24 hours if I guess if it doesn't get better. Basically is what I've
Yeah,
been
as long
told.
as you stay in touch with the doctors and stuff, like even that MRSA, like those people, I mean, don't Google the Kevin Randleman that.
I've seen it already, bro. I've seen
Okay.
it.
I don't think he exactly took care of him.
Yeah, he must have completely ignored it. Like even when he was like literally all like redness. Probably it's probably swollen all over his body. It's like, nah, it's fine.
That it's exponential growth, right? You leave it for an extra day, and all of a sudden it's completely out of hand.
That's exactly what happened. It's yeah, I just hate taking antibiotics, but yeah, that's
You have
exactly
to,
what
because
happened to me.
one day it's a big gross pimple, and then the next day there's a piece missing out of your arm or your leg.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep taking. What am I taking right now? It's called um Fluxoxacillin. Can't pronounce it properly, but
Got a
um
lot of syllables. It's probably good stuff.
yes, I'm taking a lot of it. So definitely. We'll see.
Good
It
luck.
still
I'm
has
gonna
its
go.
redness. Yeah.
I'll grab some couch time before I go to bed here. Have a wonderful week, and I will. I'll see you next Sunday.
Appreciate it. Yeah. I'll see you then, Eric. Bye bye. Wow, dude. I'm so down. I'm so lonely. So lonely. Fuck, man.